Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne and you're watching your February readings for every single sign, what I like to call my featured sign. And please forgive the sound of the heat that just came on just as I started the video. And may I just say that I am actually reading these readings to you the last week of January because, well, heck, if you're new or coming back, here's the thing. We've been in the Venus retrograde since the 19th of December in Capricorn. And of course, Mercury came along and did the retrograde starting the 14th of January. Mars did just go into Capricorn. We are still in Capricorn season. All of that energy from the retrograde aspect of January is still happening and will actually be happening through February, at least through. So Venus retrograde ends on the 29th of January, but it takes a good month or so plus for the shadow part to actually get the momentum and clear the dust and everything back to its normal, veracity, if you will. And so Mercury retrograde ends on February 3rd, and that's good, but it'll also take a good week, or maybe, I always like to say a week or two, to feel like, okay, I honestly recognize that things are moving forward. And what a blessing and beautiful feeling that is. This is the truth. It took through the 21st of January to upload my last video for the beginning of the month readings. I understand it. I'm familiar. This is what retrograde does. This is the reality of it. And people say, oh, I don't know. And other people say, oh, yeah, I totally get it. And our life goes on and we can make it happen, but not as easily sometimes. So adjusting to that and realizing it and being open to it is so helpful. I can never say that enough because it's helped me a great deal. It affects my job as a massage therapist. People were calling in right and left for various reasons. Some we know about this new variant, of course, and safety is essential, right? And it's all perfect. So I'm going to read the February readings and just see where it goes, okay? And I will continue to attempt to upload them for however long it takes, because when it's right, it's so easy and so blissfully wonderful. So I'm on the second featured sign right now, and this is the sign of Taurus. And Taurus, this is a very important year for you, and it's been important in the sense that Uranus has been in your sign, okay? Uranus is extremely powerful, it overrides a lot of other energies from the other planets. It's about freedom, it's about, invention, it's about creating, it's about things having to do with technology, with medicine. It's about forward thinking, getting outside of the routine, if you will. Or the status quo is a huge, huge way to define Uranus. And you're an earth sign, Taurus, right? So you kind of like the status quo. It's worked for you so far, right? Why fix it if it isn't broke, kind of analogy. But the truth of the matter is that it's also bringing like a twinge into your life, realizing, well, first of all, you can't really fight City Hall, as they say. So this energy is a very powerful one. It will affect all of us, but it will affect the people who are Tauruses and, who have that reality of Uranus being in your sign. It's been in your sign since, I believe, 2018. And it also will be there till like 2026. So it's something to understand and get used to. We are now officially in Aquarius season. So we had just changed last week from Capricorn, with tons of other things like Mars being in Capricorn now, if I hadn't mentioned that. And of course, still Venus retrograde in Capricorn, then going forward in Capricorn through the 6th or so of March. And then a lot of energy of Earth. This is great for you. This is your fellow Earth energy. So it feels comfortable. At a fundamental level, you feel like you understand the understanding of being practical, being steadfast. You're a fixed sign. You definitely are. People say stubborn. I say steadfast because you are determined to accomplish what you need to accomplish, and you are extremely good at that. And you also are well known to be the money sign. You know, you have great luxury that comes in. Being Venus ruled, that is about money. It's about love. It's about relationships. It's about beautification of all kinds. And I love how your sensuality is so pronounced with, you know, Venus being your ruling planet and you being an earth sign, because, you know, getting your feet into the soil, getting your hands into the dirt, planting those seeds, you know, really just, oh, I love it. And it's very grounding and calming energy most of the time. So I'm going to pick your highlighted connection that Spirit wants you to know about. And then I'll go on to read the 4 major categories with this beautiful tarot. And then I do want to finish with a beautiful oracle that is I've chosen that's new for this month. The tarot is not new because I just received this deck for Christmas and I absolutely love it. And it is the Light Seer deck. I see a couple of my favorite tarot readers used it. I said I'd like to get my hands on that, literally. And I am, and I want to continue to through February, because it's just, I want to just feel it and get more absorbed into its beautiful energy and their illustrations and the messages. So your highlighted connection, though, is done right in front of you. This is a person or another sign or energy that's going to be predominant for you. Interestingly enough, Taurus, the first sign of the zodiac I just read, Aries, had you as their highlighted. So let's see what your spirit guidance is for the month of February. And you may not feel this right away, and it doesn't have to be a person. It could simply be the energy of this particular sign. But it will have a connection with you in some form of importance. So, whoops, went right off the table. Taking a nice deep breath. It's always such an important thing to do. Leo. Well, I mean, first Aries had you, and now you've got Leo. And I'll tell you, talk about powerhouse signs. Whew. Leo is, you know, absolutely about leadership, passion, fire, you know, ambition, courage, strength. Those are the songs. Those are the cards. The strength card, the sun. Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun is the brightest star in the galaxy. It brings us the energy, the nutrition, the nutrients, the drive, the creativity, the stamina, all the beautiful things that the sun does. I mean, let's face it, I feel like mentally a lot of times people feel better when the sun is out. It's just a known, physiological fact. But anyway, I digress, of course. I love this for you. I see many combinations in my 40 plus years of studying the compatibility of astrology and the different signs. You too are inevitably destined in so many ways. So I feel like if you're not understanding about a Leo at this point, it could be a relative. It doesn't have to be love. It's not, my love connections are all inclusive. It's love of all forms. It's the power of love. It's the give and take, the reciprocity, the authenticity, the, unconditional love that I speak of. And, when it comes to passion, and I know you can hold a candle to it as well, but just in a different form, right? It's long, it's deep, it's real, and it's down to the very soul and roots with you, Taurus. And with Leo, it's just the heart and their passion. They are all about love. So that's going to be predominant. And maybe you have fire in your chart as well, or Leo, but also I just feel like it's going to be becoming more alive. And there's a really good reason for that. As far as astrology, one more time, that affects all of us, and some more importantly, depending on your natal chart, it is about the Mars-Venus connections happening starting, I think, at the 2nd of February and then moving for a couple months. So it's a long stay, and they're not exact at every moment, but those two combined, forget about it. And that's what I'm talking about. Mars is the ruling planet of Aries, and it's the fiery and the drive and the sometimes, overly conflicting kind of war type of energy that we get a little out of hand. And Venus is love. That's what your ruling planet's about. And it's absolute magic and connection in all the right ways and for all the right reasons. And, serendipity and all that wonderful stuff. So I like that a lot. Now, I'm going to read you 4 major categories that will pertain to pretty much any question you may have for the beginning, certainly, and perhaps through all of February. Because of this retrograde and retrogrades that take time to, you know, move forward and gain momentum, as I said, we will have important other things, such as the new moon on the 1st of February, right out the gate in Aquarius. And that's about, once again, Uranus-ruled energy of inventive, eager, let's try this. Let's be more, you know, open to changes. And Aquarius, of course, is the mind sign. They're thinkers, and they're very interested in educating themselves and others, and communicating and connecting and socializing and networking for the mass. You know, that's what Aquarian's about. Let's help everybody. And I like that idea. I think it's awesome. So it works for you as well. And so there's that. And then what is it going to be? Oh, it'll be Leo full moon, of course. Well, that's another reason you got this highlighted, because by that full moon, I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact date right now, in Leo, which would be the latter part of February, well, things are popping. They're happening, and it could very well be with relationships of any kind. And it's going to be powerful. It could be a brand new love interest, of course. Sometimes it'll just sneak up and you don't see it coming. And that's usually when it happens, right? Or it could be somebody you've had in mind for some time, and things got delayed. I mean, good heavens, these last 2 years. I don't need to talk about it, right? I think we all can relate to the changes we've gone through in all aspects, and relationships being a key part of that. So it's all changing, and it's absolutely going to be great. It's a 6 year, for heaven's sakes. That is a Venus number. So that's very complimentary for you as well, Taurus. So yeah, I like the Leo part. I like the passion part. I like the drive and the ambition and the energy to get things taken care of. Your first overall energy. Interesting. Wait a minute, I've got 2. Okay, I don't do that. I apologize. I'm going to stick this in here one more time and do it the way I feel it's coming out, not because it's slipped out. Sometimes when they fall, I absolutely do read them as the ones that are popping out, but let's just do it right for you, okay? Make it as clear as possible in a very murky kind of time still. Oh yeah, okay, so very perfect. Overall energy coming into February, you know, with the energies, as I said, that are still going to be part of what January has had, and is the Page of Swords. So the Page is the newer. It's the like the child kind of energy. It's the beginning of something. It's still green. It's definitely about your thoughts. It's definitely about conversations. It's definitely energy of Aquarius, I just mentioned. And it's opening up to possibilities, you know, opening the mind, like I said. It's very much about the bright ideas. You see the light bulbs that are appearing to be like balloons, lifting this beautiful, you know, person up, wanting to study maybe, or start a new course of study. I mean, the world is your oyster, right? There's nothing you can't do at any time or age or, you know, in your life. And I feel like you want to consider that very strongly, actually. Or if not you, your child. Let's just say you're having a child that just went off to college, empty nester, huge transformation, right? My sister just had that. So, well, actually it started last fall, but you know, it's still in the same year of a change, a big change. And I love the yellow, which is our third chakra, which is the solar plexus. It's our power, empowerment. It's that drive and determination, which you certainly have, Taurus, and it's reminding you of that. And, you know, just to kind of like, there could be some new transpiring events that have to do with certainly conversations of great importance. And I mean, in all areas. I personally I'm having a surgery in March, and I just got back from finding out about that this morning. And this is from last year. It was postponed, so it's been part deux, if you will. And I need to know and really, you know, just really get down to anything I may have a question or concern about. And this is what's coming through for this. And investigate and do your due diligence, because it'll only serve you well to do so. Never be, you know, There's no stupid question in my mind, thankfully, because I ask them a lot. So always like that saying. Second category, kind of as the story unravels, if you will, which is what Tarot is about, you making the final choice always. It's never set in stone, ever, is the possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, there you are. Now, Queen doesn't represent female per se, but it's the feminine quality in all of us. We have the feminine and the masculine. And, you know, we've got this Venus-Mars. It would be that kind of interaction, like I said, heavily and strongly. There's the masculine and the feminine working together in unison, though, because you need that to have that beautiful balance within yourself, okay? And feeling strong and empowered. You are gifted. You are very capable, I feel, abundant now, and no matter what that may mean to you, there's a definite sense of abundance that surrounds you. And this is beautiful. And I think it's because of the Venus aspect that is your element and the predominance of it this year and what's happened so far, which is really enriching for us to go inward and decide, what do we really want? What does love mean to us? Do we love ourselves? Because that's essential. And I mean, it's silly and people say, oh, I love myself. It's so important to love yourself. You are such a better person for it. And it's so much easier to love other people. I thought it was all about my kids when they were growing up. Oh, love you, love. Did I take great care of myself? No, I did not. I mean, I did, but no, not nearly what I could. And I've learned that. And all is well. I'm just saying, it's so important. And it's not selfish, quite the opposite. And you can be your best when you're feeling that way. And that's what this resembles. I mean, look at the lush, the green, the heart center once again. And the appreciation and the gratitude that comes from it. Beautiful deck, isn't it? So you're in your element, you're feeling this, you're open to things, but you're also just sitting and just truly enjoying the time you have to be still and to be in nature, because nature is huge for you. And I'm sure a lot of you understand this. And I know that I've known many earth signs that have amazing gardens or just have a deep desire to get out into nature in some form, if it's a walk or, a vacation, specifically to be amongst nature. It's such a healing, beautiful energy. And, Pisces, Jupiter went into Pisces, and that happened on the 29th. That's a very complementary energy. Water and earth are extremely complementary for each other. Complementary. And that's going to be up through May, and then it'll go into Aries, Jupiter, and then it goes back into Pisces. So I'm sure you will notice, and I'm already noticing I have a Pisces rising, but a lot of people, water, and all of us, will notice this incredible gift of intuition heightened at this time, of creativity, of endless possibilities, imagination. Neptune is also in Pisces and will be for many more years. It's a very slow-moving outer planet. It takes a long time to get through each sign. And you'll never see it in your lifetime again, of course. And I'm happy that I'm experiencing that in my lifetime. And it's just really utilizing your imagination and trusting in your ability and to create and manifest and to live the life that you choose. And it could be as simple as anything, or it could be incredibly luxurious. What do you want? What do you choose? And the third category is that of finances, which is definitely about everything I spoke of, the material world, right? Which is what your sign is about. And the ability to create that and make that happen. And it has to be initiated from you, though. I mean, people say, oh, work really hard, and I believe that. But not so much as I used to. I feel like you can work smart and not necessarily harder. Because if you overdo it and you work tirelessly, which a lot of Tauruses do, I know this, they're workaholics, really. But they love it, though. So I don't really... Anyway, you need that balance. I'm going to keep it simple. You need the balance. You need to remember that when you are out the office really late and you have your family and like, when are you going home? You got to put that in the balance. It's super important. It will catch up like everything. It will have cause and effect. Something to consider and think about. But finances, we all love them. You know, it could be wealth and what you consider to be your health and your family and your relationships. And you have the Knight of Wands. Whoo! Okay, you're fired up. This is really predominant energy, and there's that Mars energy coming through again. And, you know, it's about, the Knight is the information. It's about giving you information about some really beautiful prospects with work, with industrious type things, with, you know, entrepreneurial type adventures, which is nothing foreign to you. You're really good at that. You are great at, once again, explaining to others and teaching others on how to utilize and manage, you know, their money and be more practical and to have that energy and that drive and that belief. And that's what's going to create wealth. And yes, it could very well be the physical, because that's what I see between the Taurus, you know, Queen of Pentacles. Could be also Virgo and Capricorn, of course. And we are in Capricorn season. So it's a lot of that energy happening. I think we can all agree to that. But this fiery Knight of Wands, it's like bringing you information that's quick. It's going to be fast moving. So be on your toes. And I hope this time that you've had kind of set things back and maybe things were postponed and delayed was exactly for the purpose of kind of planning and putting in the detail and writing and, you know, getting things together so that when everything momentum-wise and energy-wise is moving forward, you've got it. You've got this. You're ready. You're more than ready. And that's what this is saying. So fantastic. It could represent, once again, the Leo reference, right? A Leo sign, Sagittarius or Aries could be predominant in the making of more financial stability for you. Or could have to do with your health. I'm not a doctor, but I will say, whenever I see the wands, it could be physical, because it's usually a physical element. You know, they're usually moving and movers and shakers, and, you know, and they have to be careful because you could walk too fast and slip and those type of things. So what I would say is that if you're having anything that's not comfortable in your body, you want to do that conversation and have that, because that's your wealth right there, is your health, right? And make sure that you're connecting, as this shows me, with somebody who's in the know and is very capable of helping you get back to exactly where you need to be in a, you know, positive light for yourself and the wealth, like I said, that you want. So I hope that makes sense to you. I love the reading so far. It's got a lot of variety. You've got the swords, the pentacles, and the wands so far. Let's see if the cup shows up. Final category, wishes and surprises. Surprises and wishes. I mean, we've all had a lot of surprises, and there'll be more of them with Uranus in the picture. There just is. And they come out of nowhere. And then, of course, oh my gosh, I knew there was something important. Whew! The North nodes have changed their positions as of January, 18th? Don't quote me on that, but it's happened. And so we went from the eclipses that will happen for the next year and a half. They were in Gemini and Sagittarius, and now they are in Taurus and Scorpio. So there you go again. There's a very prominent energy of you. And eclipses can change our life dramatically in phenomenal ways, quickly, unexpectedly, that like the energy of Uranus. So I bring that up because it's not happening right away, but you'll start to feel the shadowy period of that by, I want to say mid-March, could be April. So just know that, but I think it's going to be beautiful and grounding and having to do with the way we can use our resources and be sensible and smart and invest properly, because we have the right information coming through, and we've had lessons in the last couple of years as it is. So we're going to feed off of that. That's going to be for the highest good of everybody. So your surprises and the wishes are what you bring forth in every part of your life, and you have the Ace of Cups. And that is so, so beautiful. And that is absolutely about your heart. It is about love. It is about compassion. It is about the watery side of all of us that is wanting to create and to love and to feel. You know, I think a lot of people kind of shut off their emotions, to be honest, you know, to just so they wouldn't feel too much. I think it's a natural thing to do. It's time to allow those feelings and to let them go, and know that every step forward can be a better one. You know, the rest of your life will be the best of your life. How do you talk to yourself? What are your affirmations? Because I say them all the time, and it helps me immensely, but mostly a nice deep breath and allowing information in, and that's what's going to happen. You are so ready. You're ready for love of all types. You're ready for self-love. You're ready for the creative part of you to come back out and get those juices flowing. This has been a wish for you. And it's understandable because of, like I said, a lot of things that were, you know, held back. And we've gotten through it. It's not about that. You're never going to stop. You just patiently wait, like many of us are not able to. And you believe and you manifest what it is you truly, truly want by putting it out there and then having that come back to you. So I absolutely love this. Don't be surprised if you actually make that commitment you have not made as of yet, because that's all systems go for that as well. And I like hearing that. I think it's beautiful. A lot of weddings were postponed. They're happening this year. Could very well be that. Could be conversations about a child, you know, the Page of Swords, you know. I mean, is it time? It's an incredible, incredible journey to have children. I have two, and I just, you know, they're grown up and everything, but they're my life, you know, they're everything. And I feel like that could be a very strong potential for this year versus other years. So beautiful reading. I am going to finish with your oracle, which is the runes. Now, I've added these before, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a specific rune for you. And this is amazing, powerful energy. This goes back 2,000 years. The alphabet, you know, Northern European, that has great emphasis on whatever the card may say. Now, I'm going to pick the rune, and then I'm going to match it with the card, which I asked for Christmas, because I want to memorize. And, you know, I used to be great at memorizing, but you have what I don't know, and I will look it up to let you know. And every time I do it, I hope it will go in and settle and just like become part of my being, right? So I'm actually going to use you to help me with that. And these are the flashcards. So I'll look for that particular picture and letter and see what it has to say, because I was using these before and I didn't have all the descriptions like I do. Well, I have a little booklet, but I love these. It's wonderful for many uses or reasons. So where is that beautiful thing? Oh, here it is. And it always reminds me kind of the fish, which I remember seeing as a symbol on my uncle, who's a priest, who I just lost this past year. 72 years a priest, and an amazing one, and a beautiful man, and very intelligent. And he would have this glyph, or whatever you want to call this, on the sash that he would wear when he was giving mass. You know, and there is something to be said about that. But that's not what this is. So this is the letter O, believe it or not, and it is Othala. Othala. Please forgive me if I'm butchering it right now. It does say that as a pronunciation. It's the rune 23. 23 is the 5. We just finished the 5 year. And we're in the 6. 5 is usually about challenges and overcoming them and working through them, and the changes that happen very rapidly as a 5 numerology, you know, definition. The theme, though, is inheritance. And that's very in tune with you as a Taurus, because it does represent, depending on, you know, the 8th house is, okay, I can't go too much into detail right now. Let me read this first, because I do tend to digress. The key words are heritage, legacy, and property. There you go. The legacy, the luxury, the money. You inherit these things more than most of the other signs. So it's very, very synchronistic and appropriate for you to get this right now. It's about birthright, ancestral home, and generations, which is very key and very common for the earth energies. That's what it's about, keeping things status quo. And now, of course, you're going to have a lot of disruptions with that, but I think you're going to be happy about it. I don't think it'll be bothersome. I think you'll just feel like more of an evolved person, which is what we're here to do anyway. Now, the magical working is strengthening family bonds, if that should be the case or the need at this point. You would know that. Acquisition of wealth, of course. Assuming leadership, of course you're a leader. Always have been. And guarding one's clan. So there's that definite possessive need for you to just love with all your heart like you do, but just then keep those closest to you as close as possible, right? The key phrase is legacy of past generations, birthright, long-term wealth and holdings, real estate, family traditions and heritage, benefits passed on through generations. That is what you represent. This is phenomenal. This is what I mean about this wonderful oracle of the runes and how it just works so well. And I feel like we're being heard, bottom line, and answered. So there you go. That's the essential meaning of who you are and what you have to offer in this lifetime to yourself and others. And I love it. And I hope that you resonate with this reading now, but give it some time with the changing of the guard of, the retrograde and so forth. It's beautiful. It's very much in your favor. And I don't really see much challenge whatsoever. I think a lot of the challenges have been gone through, and not to say there won't be any, of course, but this is something we're working towards this year to realize if we've got through that, everything is gravy at this point. So love you, appreciate you being here. If you liked what you saw, please do like, subscribe, share. It's so important, and it helps me to grow my channel, and I really appreciate that and your contribution in that way, which is free. It's all free. So until next time, until February, take good care of yourself. Possibly mid-March or February, until March, because we're reading for February. Forgive me. I love you. Take good care. See you then. Bye-bye.